All right, so today I want to talk about a 3-by-1 coverage. We're going to talk about how we're going to split the field with 2 high safeties. We're going to guard the trip side and the solo side. Let's go and get into it. So the first thing we have to understand as a defense is we have to equate numbers. Whenever an offense puts 3 receivers to the same side, they are trying to outnumber you because in all reality, I can't just stick 3 guys out here and say cover those 3 guys. If I were to just take 3 guys and cover these 3 in man, I'm essentially saying you don't have athletes, my guys are better than yours, and some teams have that luxury, and that's okay. If you have that luxury, you're probably going to win a championship at no matter what level you're at because now you can just unleash havoc in the box and really make life difficult in the run game and the pass rush. So let's talk about how if you don't have those type of guys, like it's just man, let's talk about how we can man match and kind of use leverage and angles to our advantage. So, whenever I say split field, we are going to divide the field in half, starting with the center. So if the center is here, we have now cut the field in half. I'm going to have 2 safeties. Let's first talk about the 3-by-1 side. I have a free safety that's going to be 12 yards deep from number 3. Whenever I say number 3, this outside receiver is number 1. The middle man is number 2. The inside guy is number 3. We always count outside in. 1, 2, and 3. So as a 4th grade math teacher, I always tell my kids, hey, if we can just count to 3, you'll be okay. So I'm going to take a corner, and I'm going to press number 1. Now, we're not necessarily going to take him and press man. I'm going to get to that in a second. We're going to press number 1. I'm going to have a star defender, which is basically your Sam linebacker. You have a Will, a Mike, and a Sam, but your star is your more athletic Sam linebacker. We're going to put him 5 yards outside leverage. So the ball's here, we're pressing. We're going to be about 5 yards outside. So let's put the safety a little bit deeper. We're going to be about 5 yards outside leverage of number 2. Safeties head up with number 3. Now, right now we have 1, 2, and 3 defenders over 3 receivers. Here's where the 4th comes into play. We're going to apex our Mike linebacker. So now this Mike linebacker, he can have a B-gap responsibility, okay, potentially. Or if you want to play in a gap and a half with this heavy 5 technique, you can strike the tackle, release inside, and then now this Mike, he can protect. Well, let me keep the red. If you want to play a gap and a half, you can now play the C gap and let that 5 technique play a gap and a half into the B gap. So however you want to kind of differentiate that, get with your linebacker coach, your defensive coordinator, y'all sort that out. But anyhow, he can play a gap in the run, and he can also wall off with the pass. Now, they have 1, 2, 3 receivers. We have 1, 2, 3, and 4 players to box them inside. That's our goal. We want to box them inside. So let's talk about the rules. First, let's talk about our corner. He is in a mod coverage, but he's pressed. He's in this guy's face. Mod, it stands for he's your man if he releases outside or goes deep. So if he goes outside, release, or if he goes deep, he's your man. Essentially, what we're trying to do, we're trying to take him out of the count, and then now that leaves us with 2 receivers with 3 defensive backs. Okay? So let's talk about our rule for the star. Let me draw the Z back up here in the press corner. The star, he is outside of the number 2 receiver. Most coaches, especially in the high school level, will run a version of 2 read. 2 read means we're going to read the number 2 receiver. The reason you can't run 2 read out of trips is because the inside guy is number 3, and now you're going to ask a Mike linebacker to match number 3, and that's not a good matchup. Now, if you have a Mike linebacker, you want to try to get away with that, go ahead, but it's just not a great matchup. So we're going to basically read number 3. So the star has his eyes on number 3. Okay, he's looking at number 3. The safety is looking at number 3. So now we have these 2 guys looking at number 3. So if number 3 runs a bubble or runs a shoot route outside, anything outside, the star is going to try and cut that off, and now the star has that responsibility. He's not necessarily a flat player, but if number 3 goes outside, he's going to take him. If 3 releases deep, the Mike is going to try and get his hip into the hip of number 3 that's running deep. So I call this hip to hip. Yes, I'm an offensive line coach, and I use that for double teams, But if I was coaching the secondary, and if I was ever, coaching secondary one day, we're going to get hip to hip. I'm going to get my hip into his hip, so that way I can push him outside. The reason you want to do that is because you have defensive ends that are rushing the passer, and you want to get the quarterback on his back, right? Well, let's not give this guy a free release to beat my safety one-on-one, and let's make this guy have to spend time getting around me, which helps your pass rush. So we got to wall him off, but if 3 goes deep, this free safety picks him up in man coverage. Once he gets about 6 yards, he's going to lock on, take this guy in man coverage. If the star sees number 3 go deep, okay, his eyes now go to number 2. Because most likely, whatever number 2 is doing, he is going to have to carry. Because if this guy goes deep, that guy goes deep, he has to see number 2 in his peripheral vision. So if I'm the star defender and that guy, I'm looking at number 3, he goes deep, I should see number 2 in my peripheral vision since I'm outside leverage. That's why we have him outside. I now have to carry him deep. So you can essentially think about this as a cover 2 corner, but from an inside position. You may take the flats, but if nobody's threatening the flats as a cover 2 corner, you continue to go deep and make the throw hard on the quarterback. So then now you'll lock on number 2 man, and you'll carry if you get a 3 vertical situation. Now, back here on the weak side, when I say the weak side, I'm talking about the solo side. We're going to press up this wide receiver as well. We're going to take him in man, we're going to press him up. We're going to have a strong safety that is going to be 12 yards off the ball as well. This strong safety, let's talk about his role real quick. He is going to read the release of the number 1 receiver. So if this guy is number 1, we're going to read his release. So if this guy wants to go outside, the sideline should be about right here. So if he wants the outside release, we're basically saying the corner is going to double team this receiver with the sideline. So we're going to push him to the sideline, and then now this safety is going to poach anything coming across. When I say poach, this guy may run a crossing route. And if he's running a crossing route, now the safety can be there and pick that off. All right, matter of fact, I may have to go find the clip, but there was a Lewis Seen hit on Kyle Pitts. Florida was in a 3-by-1. Kyle Pitts was in the slot running a crossing route, but the number 1 ran an outside release. So Lewis Seen, he now got his eyes inside, saw Kyle Pitts coming across, and nailed him because he was poaching at that moment in cover 7. So if the receiver, if he goes inside, most likely he could be running a dig or something inside. The safety will then bite on this. Once the corner sees the safety has bit on it, now the corner can feather off and he can poach. So one of these guys are going to poach backside, but it's either going to be the safety or the corner. The corner does not poach until the safety bites on this route. Once he's bit on the route, he will feather off, replace the safety. Now he is right here looking for anything coming across. So that's how he is going to poach the backside. So I hope this video was a little helpful for you. I just kind of wanted to show you how teams can get a little intricate with their coverage. But all it is, guys, we're matching numbers. So we're trying to get a +1. If they have 3 wide receivers, we want to get 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 defenders and box them in. And over here with this back, we have 1. With this safety, we have 2. And this corner, we have 3. So now they have 1 and 2, and we have 3. So that's how we get 3/2 and 4/3. We can box them in and run coverage. And you know what? I didn't plan on this, but I will throw this in there. One time I made a video talking about the bullet concept, which is, it's a variation off mesh rail. This can kind of be seen whenever the solo receiver to the boundary begins to cut his split. When he cuts his split, he's doing that because he wants to take an angle to pick that linebacker. So when his back comes on a wheel route, the corner, he's a man coverage, will go inside. If we pick the wheel, he's a man with the running back. So you kind of get a 2-for-1 here. I get a 2-for-1 as I get to steal the corner with me, and I get to pick the mic as the back goes over the top. So one of the adjustments you can make, and you can just make a simple call, whatever you would like to call it. You just slide the corner outside leverage of the X. You have him ride the X inside, get hip to hip and push him inside. And as you're pushing him inside, you're reading number 2. When the back comes out on his wheel route, the corner can feather off, and he can now peel the wheel route. And the safety over the top, once he sees him go inside, he may feather in a little bit. But once he sees where that's a shallower route, he can now get his eyes back and poach anything coming across. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, but I just wanted to make this real quickly just to talk about a simple 3x1 adjustment.